to another literature class. Today is March 31st, 2020, and we're going to work on page 434 on the book. So the poem is The Good Life. Remember that the poems, not all of them rhyme. So we don't need the rhyming word scheme on a poem for it to be a poem, okay? So this one is a poem even though it doesn't rhyme, okay? And the writer is Tracy K. Smith. I'm going to read it real quick so we can have an idea what we're talking about. When some people talk about money, they speak as if it were a mysterious lover who went out to buy milk and never came back. And it makes me nostalgic for the years I lived on coffee and bread, hungry all the time, walking to work on payday like a woman journeying for water from a village without a well. Then, living 1 or 2 nights like everyone else on roast chicken and red wine. So, one of the things I noticed is that this speaker had a very difficult situation in his life, economically speaking, right? But not anymore. How do I know that not anymore? Because he says that the remembering about these years makes him nostalgic. So I know that this is not his situation anymore. But how do I know that this speaker have a very difficult situation? Because he says that he lived on coffee and bread. That means that he probably didn't have anything else to drink or eat. He said also that he was hungry all the time walking to work also. Um, he also said that he was journeying for water and like a village without a well. That he is using a metaphor here to express that he was walking to work on payday. So he was looking for water in a city or village without a well. So he was looking for money to live the other days to come. All right. So one of the things that really calls my attention on this poem is that even though the speaker was living in frugality, does not seem unhappy. He seems very, you know, used to the fact that he had that life and he had to accept it, right? So I'm going to define frugality is living without waste, using the minimum amount of money to live, even if you are in that situation because you have to or because you want to. Because some people has a frugality as a way of living, okay? Now the other poem is on page 435, which is money. This is more like a prose. And I'm going to define the word desperate, which is having an urgent need or desire. Remember, you have to copy all this in your notebook, okay? In your book, I'm sorry. So one of the things that I'm not going to read this prose. I'm going to make emphasis on one specific part, and then you're going to develop an activity about it. So he said that the children are eating lunch. He's describing basically a scene, but he says that there was this man asking to his mom about anything that he can fix or carry or a jar work. He was looking for a job, basically. He apparently needed money because he was looking for anything to do at that house. So I want you to go and respond based on that information inside the square I show you on the previous slide. The next questions. How do you help beggars? Do you consider beggar as an appropriate term to referring to people who ask for money or help on the street? What other term will you use instead of beggar? How is this man different from most beggars on the street? Do you think people is more lean to help someone who asks for a job instead of just asking for money? So this you're going to answer in your notebook about this little square that I show you in the slideshow. If you have any questions, just let me know. Have a great day.